you remember going onto the school computers because your teacher gave you an assignment, and instead of doing that boring assignment, you went onto the websites you knew had games? Yeah, I'm talking about the ones you and your friends knew were unblocked, like cool math games. For me, it was ABC, yeah, and tons of others. And there were always those great games to look at. Run, Papa's Games, but my favorite was always Duck Life. That was the one everyone wanted to play, and eventually my teachers gave up and just let us play that. I remember back in the day we used to race through the game, we used to try to get the highest score. Oh, it was great. That was the game that I grew up with. If I had to choose one game from my school days, that was the one I wasted most of my time doing. But nowadays the series is on its 9th entry, and I wanted to re-explore it because I was like, whoa, I remember that. So what's the big deal with Duck Life? What made this game so great? Ironically, not too much. It was pretty simple. Basically, the storyline goes, according to the compressed PNGs, you were on a farm and there was a tornado and it destroyed everything. And now all you have is a single egg, although there's a hay bale behind it, so I don't... Anyways, you have a single egg, which you'll need to raise and have it go through races to earn back your money so that you can save your farm and become rich and famous or something, I don't know. But that's the main objective of this game, mainly doing races. But how do we do races? Well, we start from this main menu where we have this really pretty music playing. This song is remixed in almost every single Duck Life game in some way or form. There's 3 types of race categories, and of course each of these being harder than the last, but you only have the beginning courses to start. In fact, all you really have are the qualifiers. These are separate chunks of the races that you'll be able to use to, I guess, track your progress. You have to get first place in all 3 of them to be able to unlock the main long course. Once you get first place there, you'll unlock the other difficulties, and these are other races that have different aesthetics. For example, they're all at different times. The beginning ones are during the day, the amateur ones are in the evening, and the expert ones are at night. Well, wait, maybe we shouldn't start the races. You notice those stats up in the corner? Well, we gotta raise those. These are through the different training mini-games, which take up most of the game. Running's pretty simple. There's rocks, boulders, I don't know what these are. They roll towards you and your duck will automatically run at them. You need to jump at certain times so that you don't get hit by them. After the minigame's over, you'll get some experience, and if you go long enough, you'll gain levels. Flying is, well, not really much of a game. You can collect coins along the way, but your duck basically flies for a certain period of time and then it just stops. There's no obstacles or anything, so it's kind of more of an endurance test or a boredom test, really. As you gain levels, you'll go farther, and you'll actually, because of that, it's an exponential increase. So the final time you need to do it, you'll gain like 20 to 30 levels. But out of the 3, swimming's probably my favorite. There'll be certain obstacles along the way and you'll either need to jump or you'll need to duck. And it'll start speeding up the further you get. Running also does this, but I never stay on running long enough to really see much change. You can level everything up to level 150, and you'll need to by the end, but you don't have to at the start. You can if you want, but I like to take breaks in between and do the races. When you do the races and complete them, you'll get colors for completing the qualifiers and 50 coins, or 100 and a hat if you beat the final races, or full races, or whatever you want to call them. Oh yeah, I didn't go over the other stat. Energy. It doesn't really work like the others. So energy, you might notice in the corner, goes down as you keep going the race. You'll need to level it up because if it depletes before the race is finished, you lose. When you level it up, it drains slower, so keep that in mind. You'll get some seed at the start, but you can buy more from the menu. After that, you unlock one final race. It's against the world champion, and you'll need to level everything up probably pretty close to 150. Doesn't necessarily need to, but you're gonna need to be darn close. When it comes to energy, you only really need to get it up to maybe 30 or 40, but you can get it to 150 if you'd like, and if you're a completionist like me, you like seeing those stats in the menu. Oh yeah, I am the duck god indeed. But once you finish this race, it's all over. That's it. You get 500,000 coins and a crown, so you can customize as much as you want. But for most people's general viewpoints, I'm very happy to hear that most people still like the original and understand that it's simple for a reason. It was the first one. It's a starting point. I feel like people are really hard and down on themselves, especially when they see their older stuff. I mean, I'm a game dev myself, and I can look at my older stuff and be like, yeah, that's bad, or that's not as good as I am now. But you have to start somewhere. The only way to get better is to start at somewhere, and for some people, that's a different starting point. And that's where this series has gone. And you know what? If they didn't start there, they would have no chance of making it to where they are now. Just like any other game, or any other person that has a skill or project. So, use Duck Life 1 as a lesson. If you ever feel like you're not good enough, or you feel like you're not improving enough, just remember, hey, we all gotta start somewhere.